Firmin Aldegier and Lucas Tolovic. We now wait for the start of 18 laps of Moto2 action. And the red lights are on. Tolovic on pole position. And a little bit of a jump start potentially there from the 54 Firmin Aldegier. We'll wait and see whether or not that got picked up or if he timed it just to perfection of the run down in towards turn one though. It's Hada that's made a great start from the second row. With a great Aldegier trying to force his way down there as well. And Aldegier maybe just losing out a spot there into third spot. But a great start from Hada.
Tiger Hada from fifth on the grid. He's up to first already. He's put a bit of time in between himself and Tolovic. Tolovic didn't get a bad start. He just didn't make the best start. He's in second though. Lots of spots on the camera lens at turn 3. Please, everyone, keep it upright. Hada leads on the 23. The number 3 is Tolovic. Third place, Alonso Lopez, a rookie. Then fourth is Norrin, he's held position, and fifth place, if I'm looking correctly, is, I know it's 54 in third, that's Aldegier, and the 21 of Lopez is in fifth place. Sixth is Bishakiski as Tolovic hits the front.
Yeah, Tolovic on the number 3 machine runs in a little bit hot, able to get that bike stopped though, and Tolovic, our pole setter, able to retake the race lead. We've seen those spots of rain out there. It's definitely going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on, even on our commentary box window. We don't have any spots of rain here yet, so only a few around the circuit right now, but that's a big challenge for the riders. You can see there for Hada on the 23, able to take the lead from Tolovic. Already we've seen a few lead changes during this race. Is Tolovic going to try and answer back into the chicane? If there's spots of rain, you don't want to try and make that move into the chicane right now. You want to build yourself up through this race. Make sure you're able to get that bike and the tyres up to temperature and then start to push on. You can see there at the 54 of Firmin Aldegier. He's done a good job to be able to hold on to that third spot, but it's going to be interesting to see whether or not he did jump the start, because Kiko, it looked like he made a move a little bit earlier.
He was definitely moving, Steve. He was definitely moving, but did he move to perfection? His teammates just got up to fourth, picked the pocket of Adam Norrin, who's out on the green.
You can see Tolovic there now, just weaving in behind Hada. They're coming close as they move on to that start-finish straight. Hada, though, this is as good as we've seen from him, and the man that qualified in the middle of the second row has done a good job in the opening lap. But look at Firmin Aldegier sliding that 54 all the way into turn 1. Does a really good job to get that bike stopped. But has Tiger Hada been able to get that bike down the inside? Good riding there from Hada. Not panicking out there, Kiko.
Great stuff from Hada. Even better stuff from Aldegier, though. He was leading momentarily in his first race on a Moto2 bike. Third place, Alonso Lopez just got up to Tulovic's position there. Tulovic back down to fourth. It's all very, very close. I feel like the rain, there's them spots. He's playing mental rain is what it's called. They're not pushing 100% at the moment in them braking areas. They're just a little bit tentative, and that's holding the pack together. Aldegier
trying to tack down in towards the hairpin as well. Good move from Aldegier to be able to do that. You can see Tolovic trying to make sure he's able to hold on third spot. Alonso Lopez, though, he comes from Moto3. He's not afraid of trying to carry corner speed all the way around the outside on the number 21 machine, and now he gives the inside line to Tolovic, and Lopez able to take that third spot. That is really good riding from the Moto2 rookie. You can see there the flags are out, and that'll be potentially just to say that there's a few spots of rain out there as well. You can see for Lopez down the inside as well. We've got a Boscascuro 1-2 with Firmin Aldegier leading the way in the number 54, and then the number 23 of Tiger Hada. We've just got a notification as well that Aldegier didn't jump the start, so he timed that to perfection on the 54, and the two Boscascuro bikes have found their way to the front of the field.
It's Aldegier versus Lopez. We said this yesterday, Steve, when we were looking on from trackside, that the Boscascuros looked good over race distance, and we did say Tolovic has got to prove to us that he can hold in there on the race distance. At the moment, Aldegier's clearing up. We've got a black flag for number 20.
Number 20 is Dimas Ekky Posisi on the Calyx machine, so he's one of the Moto2 riders. He's being given a black flag. You can see there down in towards turn 1. It looked like Tolovic was able to make that move on Hada. Right now, though, it is Alonso Lopez that's been the man that's been making the moves. Last time around, Aldegier was faster overall, but in that final sector, we saw Lopez pull back quite a bit of time as well. Lopez on the 21, two Boscascuro bikes.
Exactly. Tolovic, you know, he's cleared Hada. Hada, we've seen this so many times. Starts very well, just starts to drop back. This is the battle for around 6th place. This is Dimas Ekky Posisi. Now, he has got a black flag. He ain't taking much notice, so as he goes to try and get through on his teammate, Peter Bishakiski. The pole looks to fight back, but the Indonesian's got it. But, I mean, it's only the track position. Now, this is the team. This is Dimas Ekky Posisi. That's flat on one of these Moto2 bikes, but turn 6, a braking area. And that mistake from Tolovic has just taken him out of contention a little bit. A bit wide there from Aldegier, a bit too wide, I think, from the race leader. Lopez is there, didn't make any real big inroads, but with 6 laps to go, 5.5 laps to go, you now get the feeling with that mistake from Tolovic. Oh, that's a big mistake.
Big high side for Tolovic. He lost half a second in his mistake at the start of this race. He's on those race leaders. This is the section of the track where last time around he was actually very strong, able to get right up towards the Boscascuro bikes, and just pushes that little bit too hard. Our pole setter Tolovic.
Yeah, we just come to that a little bit late. He's on the power very, very early
class. You want to try and open the gap if you're Aldegier. Looks like he's stronger in the first sector, but look at Alonso Lopez closing up at this point.
He's very good in the braking area, Alonso Lopez. One of his key areas is actually down into turn 1 and into turn 3, so very, very good there. This is Adam Norridin, so this would be a Malaysian on the podium. It's been a long, long time since we've seen that, but it's exactly what he needed. We spoke about it, Steve. He was aiming for the podium. He started 4th on the grid, best ever grid result for him, and now he's going to get his first podium in the class. But this battle for first, as it says on your screen, it really is a battle for first. There's nothing between them. Around a 10th, and that is it.
Yeah, we've just seen that there has been a crash down in towards turn 2 as well. That's Guillermo Moreno that's crashed out, the Mexican rider. That could well still leave a yellow flag down in towards turn 1. So for the likes of Alonso Lopez, make that move early. That's what he's done across the line. Alonso Lopez on the number 21 machine leads the way. Aldegier is not close enough to answer straight back into turn 1, but now for Aldegier, this is where you need to collect yourself. This is where you need to try and make sure.
At that point, it's purely for track position. Minotzi's in the gravel. So unlucky for Minotzi. He's coming into the championship for the first time, but it has been a bit of a weekend to forget. We've seen him run off so many times down at turn 1 as well. Well, we've been watching, Steve. But back at the front where it really counts, these two are going at it hammer and tongs. It's Alonso Lopez versus that Fermin Aldegier. Will Aldegier be able to drive past by the line? No, but he could well get him down into turn 1.
Yeah, Aldegier on the outside on the 54, not close enough to try and make a move there on Alonso Lopez, but just close enough to be able to try and make sure he's able to keep his teammate honest as well. You can see here that is Adam Norridin up there in 3rd spot. It's back marker in front of one of the stock 600 riders. This is the battle then for 4th position. You've got Kubo at the front of it, and you've got Dimas Ekky at the back of this group as well on the number 20 machine. Tiger Had in the middle of it, and these guys really are battling. Our cameraman a little bit excited there.
Yeah, he's eye-sided
as well, and you can see Kevin Kubo though on the number 9 machine out in front of this. He's got about 5 seconds in front of him of clear track, so he's just got to keep his head down, try and make sure he's able to come away here with a 4th position. He had a few top 5 finishes last year, missed the first rounds of the year, but was actually quite competitive all the way through the season as well. You can see here at the front of the field though, it is still Lopez leading the way. Runs in a little bit deep, but he's able to use that then just to square it off as well. Lopez through this section of the track is actually quite fast through the next couple of corners, and that's what's going to be a big advantage for him to make sure he's able to hold off Aldegier into the chicane.
You get the feeling Aldegier from this point onwards is not going to be close enough to make a move because Lopez is just faster. Into turn 6 is probably the best opportunity he's got. He's close here.
He's a lot closer now. This is about trying to make sure you're able to make a good run through the last corner. Use the slipstream to try and attack into turn 1 on the final lap of the race. And right now for Alonso Lopez, he's trying to get that head down. He's trying to open the gap. But for Fermin Aldegier, he's doing a really good job to be able to stick with his teammate. They're about to start the final lap of the race. It's all about trying to make sure he's close enough to be aggressive into turn 1. Is Alonso Lopez going to take a defensive line into turn 1 though? And for Lopez, he's kept himself all the way to that right hand side of the track. He hasn't given his teammate an option to make the move. Now for Aldegier in the 54, it's all about turn 6.
The thing there is, yes, Aldegier was closer, but he didn't get him over the line. He didn't get him at all. That we know Alonso Lopez is very, very good on the exit of corners and down that front straight, and that's where it's so crucial now. We're on the last lap. This turn 3 is where Lopez has been a bit wide. Better that time. Turn 4 next. Crucial corner. You've got to get the run out there through turn 5, and Aldegier has looked good at turn 6. It's whether or not he's going to be able to do it. Here we go now.
For Aldegier, it's all about the exit from turn 4, try and get through this sweeping right-hander and be close enough to try and be aggressive down into 6. He is close enough. Alonso Lopez is going to have to defend it, but he's got no chance as well. You can see the 54 of Aldegier able to make that move. Lopez runs in wide. That's the race 1 now as well, so Fermin Aldegier just needs to make sure he's able to get through the second half of this lap. He's done a great job to make that move, set it up really well through turn 4.
He really did, and we've seen it though, the last 4 or 5 laps at turn 6 was the point where Aldegier could make that move. The front end on Alonso Lopez's bike went for a proper walk there off track. He was so lucky to keep it on. But Aldegier, what about this for a story? The stock 600 champion in his first Moto2 race, barring mistakes in the last 2 or 3 corners, is gonna take a victory.
Yeah, Aldegier in the mid-sector of this lap set the fastest time overall. He made sure that he was in a position to attack his teammate Alonso Lopez. He made sure he was in a position to force a mistake as well once he made that move. Fermin Aldegier on the Boscascuro bike steps up from the stock 600 class from last season to win on his Moto2 European Championship debut. Stunning success, a 1-2 for the Boscascuro team. Alonso Lopez, he's back in Moto2 action after being in the Moto3 World Championship. Does really well on his debut. Adam Norridin able to pick up that podium. Kem Kuba able to come away with a top 5 finish. That's not a bad start to the Moto2 European Championship.
What about that? I mean, unbelievable. Firmin Aldeguer, 16 years old, straight up from the Stock 600 class as champion, straight into victory. Seamless, unbelievable. We have got a proper talent on our hands here, Steve, and we're really to celebrate. Race 2, that's
Earlier on this morning, and he's the latest rider that's made an impact in some of the other classes here in the CEV paddock from the European Talent Cup. But to pick up from what he was able to do as well, this is Alex Eschrig, who won the Stock 600 class. He comes into Parc Fermé as well. At the end of the race, he was running about 4 seconds clear of Santa Cruz, who was in second position in the Stock 600 class. Kevin Orr just able to come away in third in the Stock 600 class. Narrowly missed out on overall points as well. The German rider only a second off Ishizuka in that final points paying position. This is Adam Norridon, his first career podium in the European Championship, and for the man that's got plenty of Grand Prix experience, well over 50 World Championship starts, this is a real key moment as well. Obviously able to capitalise on the crash for his teammate, but he was there or thereabouts all the way through. And if you think back to last season's form for Norridon, this is very different as well. He had a top 5 finish in Portimao, but overall he was mostly a top 10 runner rather than a podium contender. He needs to make sure he's able to build on that all.
I mean, we all know that guy is good, but we didn't expect that. Firmin Aldeguer then, with a first victory in Moto2. Alonso Lopez, his teammate, second at Bosco Scuro 1-2. Who would have thought that? Adam Norridon, first podium for him. Kenneth Kubo matching his best position previous of fourth. And Peter Bishakirski, really impressive stuff there in fifth. Tiger Harder, Dimas Ekky Posisi, Sam Wilford and Chavicard Luce there rounding out the top 9. Andy Bedoya top 10 on his debut. Mattia Ratto there in 11th. Alex Toledo, the runner-up from Stock 600 in 12th. Alex Escreet top 600 this year in 13th. Sander Cruz there in 14th. And Takeshi Ishizuka, the last point scorer overall. Joining us, a fantastic Moto2 race here in the CEV FIM Repsol Championship. Adam Norridon, a first podium for the Malaysian there in third. Second place, and unfortunate for Alonso Lopez, but a strong debut known for him. And then on top of the podium, it is that man, the race winner, Firmin Aldeguer. Who would have thought that coming in? What a talent he is at just 16 years old. He has got a very bright future ahead of him. Second place there, trophy going to his teammate Alonso Lopez. And then it will go to Firmin Aldeguer. Unbelievable from the 16-year-old Spaniard. And, well, Steve, it's going to be a fantastic year. That's just the start. That is for certain.
Yeah, you can't wait for race 2 in just a few hours' time. But let's hear our national anthem for our race winner, Firmin Aldeguer. Big positives. Lukas Tulovic as well this afternoon. He's got a lot of recovering to do, but his pace is there.
I think Tulovic has landed now, but great stuff from his teammate Norridon. Fantastic.